Today I've chosen a topic which probably of great significance and interest anywhere in the world, and for us it's also navigating Nepal's geopolitics. How are we going to do that? What are the contexts that we are in to navigate our geopolitics? First of all, the greatest thing that we need to that needs comes to our mind directly is how do we maintain strategic balance? And then as we maintain our strategic balance, how do we generate, create, and sustain our strategic autonomy? And for that, the basic aspiration is how economic well-being and prosperity of Nepal is achieved. That's a broader basic guideline that basically takes us how we do navigate our geopolitics. For that, one of the first things that we need to take into account is a foreign policy of any country has certain objectives. For us also, safeguarding our national interests, safeguarding our national identity is of paramount significance. What do we mean by our national interests? First, Nepal needs to remain a free country, sovereign country. Nepal should maintain its independence, dignity in the world, territorial integrity has to be there. And with that, if we can create a situation whereby partners throughout the world find a reason to respect us and to partner with us so that we achieve what we aspire for, and then people in Nepal feel dignified to achieve what they have aspired for. That's a basic outline. And how do we get that? What is the context that we are in to achieve that? First of all, if you look back the old narrative, Nepal is a yam between two boulders. Dui dhungako bichko tarul. We so often hear landlocked Nepal. And then even, people who have seen write-ups, books, other things in the past about Nepal's foreign policy, one of the things that comes to mind of anybody is the book written by Leo Eros, Strategy for Survival. So do we stay still there? Is that our destiny? Nepal always trying to create a balance, trying to find a strategy so that it can survive between its two giant neighbors. No, we don't want to stay there. We want to move beyond that. That's precisely where our geopolitics is today. That's precisely where our objective to navigate our geopolitics should be. From landlocked status to land-linked country. These are two different countries. One of the most important countries in today's world. China is an established great power today. India is aspiring great power today. China's economy is the second largest economy in the world. India is fourth, soon will be third largest economy in the world in 2 or 3 years. Though the difference between the size of Chinese economy and Indian economy are pretty paramount. So, how do we leverage our development aspirations with our relationship between our two giant neighbors who have significant international presence, who are players in the global arena, and which have attracted attention, cooperation from America, the largest economy, superpower of the world, to all other countries who do matter in the world. So for that, we have to understand the context that we are in. Our relationship with India is very close. Close because of our cultural ties, our religious commonalities, and our extensive people-to-people relationship. But at the same time, we also understand that Nepal and India's relationship have not been very smooth. At times, we felt that India has not honored our sensitivity. At times, we have felt that India has not recognized what a small neighbor, small from their perspective probably, not from the world perspective, a neighbor would aspire, how that can be respected. And with that aspiration that we have, we also would like to understand that India provides the largest amount of foreign aid to Nepal, greatest amount of investment in Nepal. All the connectivity until now is largely through India. And then if we look at northern neighbor which used to be our largest trading partner until 1900, starting 20th century, India has emerged as the largest trading partner for us because of the railroad connectivity, because of the topography that we are in. Northern neighbor, certainly, I mean, if you look at their history, last 25 years, wonders have happened in China. Wonders have happened in China. And how do we benefit from that? That naturally has created a situation whereby India and China do compete in the international stage and cooperate and collaborate with each other. So how can we balance our strategic relationship with both of our neighbors? That also in the context of the fact that with the emergence of China and the global competition between the US and China, India's importance has increased. India has a greater leverage in the international arena. So how do we balance the great power and the aspiring great power and the leverage that it has because of the competition between great power in the world? And how do we increase connectivity with China? I mean, we have very few connectivity because of rugged topography, so establishing connectivity with the north is very important. With that, then again, our aspirations would be balancing these relationships so that the potential Nepal has in certain areas. First, the most important is we have to develop our infrastructure. If we do not develop our infrastructure, we're not going to get anywhere. Second, we have a humongous hydropower potential. Energy through hydropower is going to be important. That's a renewable energy, but that has certain time. Time window of 15, 20 years. Beyond that, water is still going to be important. Drinking water, irrigation water is going to be important. And then third, very important thing that we need to keep in mind is tourism is very important for us. Tourism is going to stay there as long as Nepal is there. Tourism as the greatest future for Nepal. So how can we build upon our landscape, stunning landscape Nepal has? How can we bring more people so that adventure tourism becomes very important? How can bring more people from India and China so that we can promote cultural and religious tourism? So tourism has tremendous potential for future. And for that, relationship becomes important. Now let me just leave it there and move a bit towards the context, the broader, larger context within which we operate. Now our relationship is not only with our two neighbors. We have an extensive international relationship. By that I mean long-standing relationship with Britain. Britain has been our oldest partner. Our relationship with them has been fortified because of our presence in their military, because of the remittances Nepal used to receive from them, because of the disinterested party in Nepal. They do not have any immediate interest. But again, people feel very close because Gorkha soldiers have played a very important role, help them achieve what they wanted to achieve during the First Great War and the Second Great War. How are we going to use that as a leverage so that we can still balance the relationship between our two great neighbors? Naturally, U.S. has a presence for almost 70 years now. U.S., the largest economy in the world, their presence has increased. And then again, because of our vicinity to China and India, U.S. interest is going to increase only in the days to come. So our strategic importance is going to increase. How then we can leverage that so that U.S. would be of greater use for us, greater help for us, for harnessing our potential, for developing our health, developing our education, developing our infrastructure, developing our connectivity, developing our trade, attracting more foreign investment, getting more tourists. For that, naturally, they would look at Nepal as a country that's close to China, a country that borders with Tibetan part of China. And if we look at Tibet, then naturally human rights issues and the refugee issue is going to come to mind to anybody. So that's something we need to keep in mind when we navigate our relationship with our northern neighbor, and then the way the international community looks at northern neighbor. That's going to be tremendously important. And then that provides a larger context, but that does not end there. our long relationship with Japan, our long and standing relationship with South Korea, our long and standing relationship with many countries in the Europe, Scandinavian countries. They have provided very generous support for us. Switzerland has been important, Norway has been important, other European countries, including Germany, have been very important to us. How are we going to leverage that? And then again, if you come back to Asia Pacific, Australia is very important, becoming more important. The involvement in Nepal is increasing. So if we look at the entire plethora of relationship, bilateral relationship we have, how we leverage that for Nepal's development. Immediately to that comes to my mind is how we harness our bilateral relationship for Nepal's development, but at the same time to benefit from multilateral engagements we have. Multilateral engagement meanings, the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, other banks, our presence in the UN. We have been member of the UN for more than 70 years, our significant presence there. And one more important thing, when we talk about UN, when we talk about the rest of the world, Nepal's peacekeeping operations are very important. Nepal has gained enormous amount of respect throughout the world because of the peacekeeping operations that we engage. We are sometimes the largest or the second largest peacekeeping operations in the world. So how we can leverage that for Nepal's development? Immediately when we talk about the peacekeeping operations, then again comes to mind the non-military side of employment. A large community of Nepali people go to Gulf, go to Malaysia, go to many other countries, including Europe and America, for foreign employment. They provide a good amount of money, remittance back home. It's as large as a quarter of the GDP of Nepal. How we can use that so that in days to come, our multilateral engagement is going to intensify. How we can improve, use that remittance so that people who send them money can find better investment opportunity in the country, and how we can upskill the people who go out for the foreign employment. That's one of the important arena that we should be working on. That said, potential for hydropower development, potential for tourism, there are imperatives that we need to develop our infrastructure, the potential that we can find a greater role in the peacekeeping operations, expand our presence in the international arena, that's going to be tremendously important. And then if we do that successfully, then that probably will provide us an opportunity so that our relationship is at equilibrium. Strategic balance is there, strategic autonomy is there, so that people's aspiration to be a prosperous Nepal can be achieved through these engagements. That's basically what I mean by navigating Nepali geopolitics, from moving from landlocked to land-linked status, from a situation and mindset of looking for strategy of survival to expanding upon the potential benefit that's going to come out by being situated between two of the greatest powers in the world today. That's a challenge for us, that's a prospect for us, and how we live up to this is precisely what we should all be striving for in the days to come. I stop there. Thank you very much.